Hey guys, and welcome to my favorite day crafts. So in this video today I want to walk you through two folios I have made, and the collection I have used to make those folios is a collection by Pebbles, which is called Peekaboo You Boy. So as you can see here, I used the 6x8 paper pad from this collection, but I also had some individual 12x12 sheets which I've used to decorate the album cover, as the cover is larger as my pages, but I also used the 12x12 sheet with all the journaling cards as cutter parts as well. So as you can see, I used the same collection for both of those 6x8-inch folios, but I did change the style of those folios. So as you can see here, there are different closures as well as different interactive elements inside the folios, and I will show you all the differences between what I call my favorite folio number 1 and my favorite folio number 2 in this video. And that's actually what I enjoy the most when making mini albums or folios. So sometimes I would use the same style and the same interactive elements, but then I would only use different collections to make different albums for a different theme. But then you could also use the same collections but have your folios or mini albums in a different style. And if you're interested in also making one of those folios, there are cutting guides and templates as well as video tutorials available for purchase in my Etsy store, or actually the video tutorial for my favorite folio one is free to watch on my YouTube channel. But if you're interested in also getting the cutting guides and the templates, you can check out the link in my description box. Okay, so now let's have a closer look on both of those folios and the different style. So the measurements for the folios are 6.5 of an inch by 8.5 of an inch. So that's for the covers, and then the spine measures 1 1/4 of an inch. So let's start with the back cover, and as you can see, there are two interactive elements on the back cover already. But for my favorite folio number 1, I have a tag pocket and a 3x4-inch tag inside the pocket. And I really love adding those to my back covers because this way you could just write a note onto your tag, and then you could give your folio as a gift, and instead of a greeting card you would have a tag inside a pocket with a little greeting on the back side of the folio. But then on my favorite folio number 2, I added a regular 4x6 pocket with a greeting card inside. So this is a greeting card on which you could also write down your greetings for the person you are gifting this folio to, but you could of course also add 4x6 photos inside this little booklet here as well. And to decorate both of those pockets, I just used some 3x4 journaling cards from the collection, and I just backed it onto this scalloped frame die cut, which I just love to use. I always use it actually. And then on the favorite folio number 2, I also used some animal dots and a corner punch to decorate the corners of the 3x4 journaling card. Now for the decoration on the front covers, I think I kept it very simple, so I only added and different scallop frame die cuts as well, and then I also decorated my favorite folio number 2 with some animal dots as well as some star stickers and a peekaboo sticker I had from the collection as well. And then on my favorite folio number 1, I already knew the name of the baby boy, so I also used my die cutting machine to cut out the letters to write the name Elias on the front cover. But of course, the different decorations on the front covers are not part of the different folio styles, so you could definitely add whatever you like to decorate the front cover. But then for the closures for the folios, I decided to add a ribbon closure to my favorite folio number 1, and then an elastic closure to my favorite folio number 2. And you could actually also decide to not add any closure to those folios, because they will be still able to close up without any closure. But I just like to add a ribbon closure or an elastic closure to my albums or folios, because I think they just add a lot of character. So now we can go ahead and just open up both of those folios, and I will actually be able to just have one page at the time, or one side of the folio in frame. So we will start with the right side of my favorite folio number 1 and the left side of my favorite folio number 2. And as you can see, they're just slightly different. So on both folios, I decided to include a waterfall page for 4x6 photos. And I just changed the closures for this waterfall page here as well. So for my favorite folio number 1, I decided to close the waterfall by using a ribbon closure as well. And then on my favorite folio number 2, as you can see, there is a different closure with a Velcro circle, which I will show you in a minute. So to open up the waterfall page on my favorite folio number 1, you would of course just need to untie the ribbon bow, and then you can flip each page individually. And these are actually 8 different waterfall pages, so you could include 8 different 4x6 photos here. And then you could also add 3x4 photos onto the pattern paper side, so they just fit perfectly, and you would still be able to see the pattern paper underneath by using smaller photos. And I also want to add here that the photo mats you have seen, so the photo mats with the camera stamp for 4x6 photos, are actually removable. So the person who's receiving those albums is able to remove the photo mats and then add a photo on here instead of adding the photo onto the photo mats. So this way you can just reduce the bulk you would add to your folio. And then to open up the waterfall page on my favorite folio number 2, you would need to open this, I hope you can say, belly band closure with a Velcro circle. And then you will be able to flip your 8 individual waterfall pages as well. So there are no differences here except for the space between those pages. So on my favorite folio number 1, I didn't do anything to decorate the like 1/2 inch space between on top of all of those pages. So that's where the pages are attached. But on my favorite folio number 2, I decided to use my branding strips from the collection to also decorate them. So now let's have a look on the other sides of the folios, and for this I had to change the orders. So now you can see my favorite folio number 2 on the left side and my favorite folio number 1 on the right side. So let's start with my favorite folio number 1. So here we have a large booklet in size 6 by 8 inches. So the pages are actually 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, but as I said before, the pattern paper I used is 6 by 8 inches. And this booklet actually can be opened by using a Velcro circle. And then, as you can see, you can just flip each page from the left and then from the right side, so they can be flipped from both sides, and you will always be able to see 3 different pages next to each other. So in total there are 13 different 6x8 pages in this booklet on which you could place your photos. And the size is just perfect to place your 4x6 portrait photos right onto the pattern paper pages. Or you could of course also add smaller photos, for example in size 3x4 inches, or in smaller sizes you could also make a collage onto these pages, or whatever you would like to add here really. So now for my favorite folio number 2, I also added a booklet, and I changed the closure for the booklet by adding a ribbon closure here, but also the booklet is a completely different style. So as you can see, for my favorite folio number 2, I decided to add an accordion style booklet to my folio. So you could open it up completely and have one long accordion page, but you could of course also flip the pages individually. So that would mean that you first flip the pages to one side by flipping it like a regular book, and then you could flip it to the other side as well. So in total there are 11 different 6x8 pages on which I can add my photos, and the same as for the booklet on my favorite folio number 2, you could add your 4x6 photos as well as photos in size 3x4 or smaller onto each of those pages. So that's it for today's walkthrough of those two different folio styles, and I have to say that I really love how they turned out, and I will definitely do a lot more of those folios by using different paper collections and have them match different themes. And yeah, as I said before, if you're interested in also making those folios, there are cutting guides, video tutorials and templates available in my Etsy store, and you can find the link in the description box. And I'm actually not exactly making those folios in the tutorials, but I do the same styles, but I use different collections and pen and papers. So for my favorite folio number 1, I made a very like floral girly folio by using a great paper collection, and then for my favorite folio number 2 in the tutorial I will use a beach vacation collection by Craft Smart or Craftsmith. And yeah, so if you enjoyed watching this video today, I would love to get your feedback in the comments and your thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. And then see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.